Hey everybody, this is Jim from Top Jimi Profiles. Today we're demoing the Top Jimi 66 Plexi JT45 pack for the Kemper Profiler. Time to make some noise. I was fortunate enough to track down an almost completely original 1966 Plexi Marshall JTM45. This amp is in excellent condition. The only things that weren't original was one resistor used for biasing the power amp tubes, and I think the logo is probably not original. I think it's probably a reproduction. It's in too good a condition. Other than that, everything's seems to be in original condition. I wanted that in order to get the most authentic tone I could of what a real amp of this vintage sounds like. So it's got the original plexiglass faceplate, and these old JTM45s have the Marshall tone stack we're all used to, and they've got two channels. Much like a Bassman, this is basically just a Fender Bassman, a 59 Bassman. And it essentially acts like a 3-channel amp like the old Fenders do. So you've got your high treble channel, you got your normal channel. Then if you put in a jumper like so and plug in here, you end up with a 3rd channel where you can mix the two. And you get additional gain and really a very full balanced tone. So we profiled in all 3 of those channel configurations, and also with 3 different vintage Celestion speakers. So a lot of variety in this pack. So we have a pretty good selection of vintage Celestion speakers that we can use to profile with, and I selected 3 speakers which I thought were representative of speakers which would be used with this particular amp. So one of them is a original 1964 Celestion Blue with the original pulsonic cone and the Vox label. It's in a 212 Vox AC30 cabinet. So that's what you would have heard with the very first Marshalls, which are basically this same circuit with those speakers. Also used a 67 Celestion Greenback, the 20-watt version. So that's what would have been used when this amp actually came out in 1966. Then we also used a 1970 25-watt Greenback Celestion. Also pairs very well with this amp. So you get all 3 of those speakers in the pack, and you get a really nice variety. Check out this tone clip to hear the differences. So there are 2 things I found really affect the tone of the amp. One is the output transformer, and the other is the tone capacitors. So I wanted an original example with all those correct original components to give the right tone. So one thing that bothers me is if I took this to an amp tech, this amp is 54 years old, they'd probably tell me I need to replace all the capacitors because there's no way they could still work. Well, I tested each and every capacitor and they all tested out great. So, you know, if you brought it to someone and they ripped out all those capacitors, you would lose that original tone. And you'd have maybe you'd have a good tone, but it wouldn't be the original tone. So that's my rant about capacitors. Don't rip them out until they're broken, because they made them pretty well back then. If you play your amp a little bit every now and then, it'll keep those electrolytic capacitors formed up, and they can last a very long time. As you may have noticed, I'm at home, and the reason for that is we have a new studio under construction. Should be done in a few weeks' time. So hopefully the next time we talk, we'll be talking to you from the new Top Jimi studios. So as always, everything you've heard today was generated by the Kemper and only the Kemper, and recorded direct into the DAW. So, thanks for watching, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.